Hi, I'm Cookie, and I do not wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. Here are the rules. I'm going to read you some questions. When you think you know the answer, hit the 1, 2, 3, or 4 key on your keyboard, or you can use your mouse. Now, every question has a timer right about here. The quicker... Oh, you know so much. Let's get started. 1. First up, I now pronounce you Jedi and wife. My friend Tom is getting married this weekend, and I've been asked to do a Bible reading during the ceremony. Tom loves Star Wars, so I want to read something that will remind him of that. Which of the following Star Wars shoutouts really appears in the Bible? The Plague of Dagobah, the Witch of Endor, the Three Kings of Hoth, or the Baron Administrator of Cloud City? Oh man, your score's gonna take a hit. Your only chance of survival is to cut a tauntaun open and crawl inside for warmth. This would have been a good idea. The Witch of Endor appears in the first book of Samuel in the Old Testament. The wedding's gonna be great. When the priest asks if anyone has any reason why they should not wed, I'm gonna stand up and say, because she is your sister. I think it's gonna go over really well. And coming up next, that's just nuts. I've been watching a lot of America's Funniest Home Videos, and I've realized that the show is pretty much just a bunch of guys getting hit in the nuts, which is hilarious. If you wanted to hilariously hit a guy in the nuts, botanically speaking, where should you hit him? In his coconuts, in his walnuts, in his peanuts, or in his almonds? You thought you were clever, didn't you? Hey, look at this right answer over here. Scientifically speaking, the only true nuts in this group are the walnuts. Next up, cream pies and bow ties. And hey, it's a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, tell me if it's a popular stand-up comedian or a character from the TV show Pee-wee's Playhouse. If it's a stand-up, press 1. If it's Pee-wee, press 2. To skip, press 4. Alright then, don't let me keep you. Carrot Top, Billy Baloney, Larry the Cable Guy, Reba the Mail Lady, Cowboy Curtis, Ant, Conky. Today's secret word is perfect. And on its way, 4. Suspenders of disbelief. Suppose Larry King becomes a contestant on Dancing with the Stars. If he's able to move like a king in chess, how would he dance? He would only dance sideways 1 step at a time. He would dance anywhere he wanted. He would only dance In chess, a king can move in any direction, but only 1 step or space at a time. And 1 step at a time is probably a good thing. No one wants to watch a show called Larry King Dead. And up next, 5! The bad news is, you've got Loggins and Messina. Sometimes I've got a problem with 70s music. However, which of these 70s bands would present the biggest problem for sufferers of celiac disease? Bread, air supply... Celiac disease causes the intestines to be damaged by gluten, such as that in wheat. My intestines are damaged every time I hear Baby I'ma Want You. And now, in space, no one can hear you howl. I was flipping through the channels and this weird horror movie popped up. Let me just pull up the TiVo here. Okay, here it is.
Well, Harper, colonizing this planet was a great idea. I think I finally escaped the horrible curse of the wolf.
We can finally have a real life together without having to worry about a full moon.
There are no moons here, Harper. Just you, me, and little Sparky.
What the hell is this movie? An American Werewolf on Venus, an American Werewolf on Mars, an American Werewolf on Saturn, or an American... Saturn has over 18 moons. That would be a horrible place for a werewolf. And the correct answer is... Venus is the only one of these planets that has no moon, so it would be a pretty safe place for a werewolf.
I'm so happy now that we've escaped the curse of the wolf.
But how far into space must we travel to cure my other curse? Herpes.
Now coming up... Brace yourself for the attack. Oh, of course, you don't need to hear all this talking. Versus. It's time for the case of you versus the Jack Attack. Good luck. Yikes. It's kind of like you versus yourself, because brain-wise, you are your own worst enemy.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I'm a baconaholic. Here are the rules. I'm gonna read you some... Okay, let's get it on. First up, it's good to see you. Hey, dude, all right. What's up? The lithosphere, the asthenosphere, the cryosphere, or the mesosphere? The lithosphere, asthenosphere, and cryosphere are all underfoot. The mesosphere is above the stratosphere. Man, it's been good talking to you. Hey, before I go, I think you owe me $20. And up next, a giant nose for music. Say Cyrano de Bergerac wanted to impress the woman he loves by singing karaoke. Which lyric would he most likely sing to her? You came and you gave without taking? You don't have to put on the red lights. She's all I want and I've waited so long. Or I'm down on my knees, I'm begging you please to come home. And I'm gonna come and take without giving. And the correct answer is... Cyrano pined for Roxanne, so he'd want to sing that Police hit. Although you don't want to hear Cyrano de Bergerac sing. It sounds a little like this. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. And coming up next, Going to Seed. And yep, it's a this or dat. I'm gonna throw out 7 things. For each, I want you to tell me if, scientifically speaking, it's a fruit or it's a vegetable. If it's a fruit, press 1. If it's a vegetable, press 2. To skip, press 4. Each right answer will get you valuable vitamins and minerals. But answer wrong and you'll get scurvy. Oh, and alright then, don't let me keep you. Banana! Cauliflower! Tomato! Bell pepper! Shallot! Wasabi! Cucumber! Not great. I give you a vitamin C minus. Now for the dessert course, Disserdat. Is it a cake or a pie? And on its way. 4. General Disarray, your squadrons are missing again. Which of these characters would rank lowest in the U.S. military? Colonel Sanders, Sergeant Pepper, Captain Kangaroo, or Major Dad? Here's what you should have picked. Sergeant is just a step above corporal, which is just above private, the lowest rank. And he's never going to move up the ranks if that ridiculous band keeps following him around. Next up. 5! My body's saying let's go, but my heart is saying no, no. Well, I finally found a bottle on the beach with a genie in it. I've only been looking for 2 months. Anyway, yeah, so now I have my bazillion dollars. I own a small island off the coast of Tanzania, and Hold on a second. I'm coming, Beyonce! Keep your clothes on for 1 minute! Women. Anyway, there's just this one small problem. The genie can't seem to get back into the bottle. What should he do? Heat the bottle, sit on the opening, wait for the bottle to cool, sit on the opening, then poke a hole in the bottle, cool the bottle, sit on the opening, wait for the bottle to heat up, or fill the bottle with water, sit on the opening, and wait. 5 seconds. Ah, yes. When the air in the bottle cools, a partial vacuum forms, and the air from the outside will push the genie into the bottle as it tries to fill the vacuum. It'll also help if we butter up his ass first. Beyonce! Butter! Now! And now... Xerox. Achoo! Ugh, Nate, could you bring in a box of Kleenex?
Don't you mean tissues, Cookie? Kleenex is a brand name. We don't have any Kleenex, but we do have tissues.
Uh-huh. Nate, I'm gonna murder you and put your head in a thermos.
Don't you mean cooler? Thermos is a brand name. We don't have a...
Okay, I get it. Which of the following was not originally a brand name that eventually became the common usage? Granola, zippers, dry ice, or pants? Don't drink that. Hey, look at this right answer over here. Granola, zipper, and dry ice were all originally brand names, but not pants. Tired of your bottom half getting cold? Why not try Pants brand pants? Pants, like shirts, only lower. Now coming up... Brace yourself for the attack. Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. Death by... Ooh, I hope it's chocolate. Good luck. Your score is like the runt of the litter. It's small and cute, but it'll be dead by morning.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I've got chutzpah coming out of my badonkadonk. Now the instructions. Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, meet. What's wrong with the whole Wile E. Coyote constantly chasing Roadrunner thing? Coyotes and Roadrunners don't live together anywhere on Earth? Coyotes are vegetarians. Roadrunners actually... Yep, a coyote can run up to 43 miles per hour. Roadrunners are damn fast for birds, but they can only run about 15 miles per hour. And I'd like to see that extremely short and violent cartoon. Next up, Mesquite No. If you really want to annoy the Mosquito Coast, where should you spray your giant can of deep woods off with DEET? On Mozambique and Tanzania, on Honduras and Nicaragua, on Cambodia and Vietnam, or on Egypt and Libya? The Mosquito Coast is the eastern coast of Honduras and Nicaragua. The little bugger. Hey! Get off my continent! And now... Mid-afternoon of the Living Dead. And... It's a this or that! I'm gonna throw out the end of 7 titles. For each, I need you to tell me if the title begins with Night of the, or the title begins with Day of the. If it's Night of the, press 1. If it's Day of the, press 2. To skip, press 4. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Living Dead. Dead. Hunter. Iguana. Locust. Lepus. Jackal. Let's see what you skipped. Jackal. Your sleep schedule must be all messed up. A Lepus! And on its way. 4. Oh, Kegel. Look, we've known each other for a while now. We've gotten close. So I feel like I can ask you this. How many sphincters are in your anus? 1, 2, 5, or 8? How many tubes have you got down there? What are you, a bank drive-through? Hey, look at this right answer over here. There are 2 sphincters in the anal passage. The more internal one acts involuntarily, and the outer one you can control, I hope. Or to use a baking metaphor, the first one creates the loaf while the second one slices it. And up next, 5! The ascension of the shiny gray surfing individual. Which of the following words does not describe one of the Fantastic Four? Diaphanous, echinated, conflagrant, or pliant? Pliant means flexible, like Mr. Fantastic. Maybe you've heard of Mr. Fantastic. He used to be friends with your father, Mr. Here's what you should have picked. Echinated means spiny or prickly. None of the Fantastic Four are spiny. Although a giant man porcupine would be pretty sweet, and he could be played by Alec Baldwin. Nate, call my agent! And coming up next... Can I get a little danger in here? You know, I like this gig, but I really wish my job had more danger in it. Alright, who did that? Stop doing that every time I mention danger! You friggin' losers. Let's say I want to get a new job that's a little more life-threatening. Statistically speaking, which of the following jobs is the most dangerous? All right! Alaskan crab fisherman, California police officer, Texas construction worker. With its long hours and brutal weather conditions, Alaskan crab fishing has one of the highest mortality rates of any job, but it is very high paying. Man, I wish somebody would pay me that much to catch crabs. Now coming up... Brace yourself. Oh, I see you're just too excited. Sworn enemies. You and I shall never be friends. Bad luck. Wow, I'd have to say I feel the same way about your score as I do about Jimmy Crack Corn. I just don't care.
You don't know Jack!
Hello, my name is Cookie, if you know what I mean. Here are the rules. I'm going to read you some questions. When you think you know the answer, hit the 1, 2, 3, or 4 key on your keyboard, or you can use your mouse. Now, every question has a timer right about here. Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, too legit to vomit. Ever since MC Hammer debuted, there's been one thing on my mind. For as long as I can remember, one single desire has consumed me. I would like to kick MC Hammer in his peen. To correspond to where a hammer's peen is located, where should I aim? The top of his head, the back of his head, the front of his head, or his torso? This would have been a good idea. The peen, like on a ball-peen hammer, is the end opposite the smooth-hitting face. Today, hammer. Tomorrow, I kick the Fresh Prince in his jewels. Next up. I could have had a VE day. Which of these is something in V8 and something in the G8? Carrots in Canada, radishes in Russia, spinach in Spain, or ginger in Germany? Carrots are one of the ingredients in the vegetable drink V8, and Canada is one of the countries in the political group known as the G8. Another thing carrots in Canada have in common, both of them suck. No, I'm just kidding, carrots. And on its way... Yo, 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 yo. It's a this or that. I'm going to read you 7 phrases. For each phrase, I want you to tell me if it's an LL Cool J track or a yo-yo trick. If it's LL, press 1. If it's yo-yo, press 2. To skip it and loop-de-loop back later, press 4. All right, then, don't let me keep you. Around the world. Around the way, girl. Walk the dog. Rock the baby. Rock the bells. Shoot the moon. Jack the Ripper. LL has his platinum workouts. You have your work cut out. Ladies love cool yo-yoing. That's what I keep telling myself anyway. And up next... Gizania. Suppose Garfield's owner, John Arbuckle, decides to follow the traditions of ancient Egyptians. Then Garfield dies. What does he do? Shaves his eyebrows, smears ashes on his face, singes the bottom of his left foot, or fasts for 2 days. Maybe you should get some food. I think your stomach might be starting to eat your brain. Here's what you should have picked. When their cats died, ancient Egyptians would shave their eyebrows as a sign of grief. So I guess in my college days when I drank too much and passed out, people must have assumed my cat died. Though that still doesn't explain why they drew genitals on my face. And now... Don't paint that black. So I heard that Rolling Stones song, I Can't Get No Satisfaction, on the drive-in, and I realized Mick Jagger's actually saying he can get satisfaction because he's using a double negative. And I don't think Mick realizes it either. He should really fix that. Which new song title actually states that Mick Jagger gets no satisfaction? I can't not get satisfaction. No satisfaction is not what I get. There's never a time when I get no satisfaction, or I can't not get no satisfaction. If Mick cannot not get no satisfaction, then he's actually getting no satisfaction. Get it? Poor Mick. He's so right when he says, you can't not always get what you don't not want. And coming up next, Dick Clark's New Year's Freezin' Eve. You know, I love New Year's Eve, but I'm tired of freezing my butt off in Times Square every year. I'm going somewhere else this year. Where would my butt be warmest on New Year's Eve? Nairobi, Kenya, Auckland, New Zealand, Bangkok, Thailand, or Nassau, Bahamas? Not going there. Only 73 degrees average high temps there on New Year's. Also, I'm afraid of kangaroos. Hey, look at this right answer over here. The average high temperature on New Year's Eve in Bangkok is 89 degrees, by far the highest of the cities here. Also, I hear the massages are very nice there. Must have some very good accredited massage therapy universities over there. Now coming up... Oh, well, sure, I'll just shut my mouth then. I'd rather watch the teen comedy. It's so much easier than reading, and I'm more likely to hear a Smash Mouth song. Good luck. That was atrocious. Are you a human being playing this game, or just a cat walking back and forth over the keyboard? Get out of here, cat! Shoo! Get! Get!
You don't know Jack!
Hi, my name is Cookie, and my talent is twirling. Now the instructions. Oh, well, don't let me stand in your way. First up, beat it. Oh, man. I meant to order a piñata, but I accidentally ordered a pietà. What the hell have I been beating with this stick for the last half hour? An architectural support for a column? A statue of the Virgin Mary? A sacred container for holy water? Or a flatbread that tastes good with hummus? No. That's a piscina, and I'm not wet. This would have been a good idea. I'm not getting any candy, am I? And up next, walnuts. You know, if I were in charge of China, I'd decorate the Great Wall in much the same manner as I do my current bedroom, with a variety of posters. Which cool poster would perfectly cover one side of the Great Wall of China? A 38-mile Jessica Alba poster? A 380-mile Jessica Alba poster? A 3,800-mile Jessica... The Great Wall is just under 3,800 miles long. And no, Jessica Alba posters are not all I have on my walls. I also have one small poster of my mother. And coming up next, the Ink Club for Men. Oh my goodness, it's a this or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 cartoon characters, and for each one, tell me if you think the character is completely bald or if he has some hair. If he's bald, press 1. If he has hair, press 2. To skip, press 4. All right, then don't let me keep you. Charlie Brown, Ziggy, Homer Simpson, Mr. Magoo, Elmer Fudd, Popeye, Stewie from Family Guy. Let's go back. Ziggy. Not bad. Maybe if you comb your score over, no one will notice. But in fairness to Elmer Fudd, you know, he was drunk, he broke into that beauty salon, one thing led to another. Hey, at least the drapes match the carpet now, right? And on its way, 4. Vocabularious. Nothing satisfies like a good mashup. Jay-Z and the Beatles, Eminem and Queen, brunch. Which of these is not a mashup of 2 other words? Bodacious, buffalo, smog, or transistor? The word buffalo is 100% buffalo. A tangelo, however, is a mixture of the 2 words tangerine and buffalo. Next up, 5. I want my organ inside you. So, do you know how in movies when someone gets a transplant, it turns out they got that body part from a serial killer and suddenly they have an evil hand? Well, long story short, I want to get an evil transplant. However, I want the safest surgery possible. Considering which transplant surgery has been being performed successfully the longest, which transplant should I get? Lex Luthor's lungs, Captain Hook's heart, Freddy Krueger's kidney, or Darth Vader's vagina? Sure, take it. They could just put a hook where his heart was. And the correct answer is... the kidney transplant was the first successful organ transplant. With my new kidney, I'm going to produce the most evil urine known to man. Ooh, I peed a little. And now, a real Mickey Mouse election. If Disneyland were declared a plutocracy, who would rule? Pluto, Minnie Mouse, Scrooge McDuck, or the 101 Dalmatians? A plutocracy is ruled by the wealthy, like the richest duck in the world. The wealthy having power. Ah, what a whimsical departure from reality. Okay, we're back. Now coming up, course, you don't need to hear all this talking. Who shot me? I must know. Good luck. Well, I'd like to get more excited about your score, but I'm not going to.
You don't know Jack!
Hello, my name's Cookie, and I'm really happy for Drew Carey. No, I am. Now the instructions. I'm gonna read you some questions. When you think you know the answer, hit the 1, 2, 3, or 4 key on your keyboard. Or you can use your... Oh, you know so much. Let's get started. First up, how do you like them grapples? If The Bourne Ultimatum remains the third and final Jason Bourne movie, which one could be retitled The Bourne Anti-Penultimatum? The Bourne Identity, The Bourne Supremacy, The Bourne Ultimatum, or Don't Pick This Answer? The antepenultimate in a series is the third from last, which technically would be the first in a trilogy. Thus, in the Mary-Kate and Ashley adventure series, The Case of the Hotel Whodunit represents the Oh God, sorry. I just threw up a little in my mouth. And now... You're making me ticked off. What could a Jamaican waiter say to a rude, annoying customer and get away with it? Certainly, and can I get you some extra bitch with that? No problem. And would you also like some a-hole sauce? Anything you like. And can I get you a side of bastard? Of course. And would you like some jerk with that? Bastard. Is that like mustard? This would have been a good idea. Jerk is a style of cooking native to Jamaica. Jerk chicken, jerk pork, jerk seasoning, jerk sauce, and it's all called jerk. Now when he brings back the order balanced on a stick in his butt, that might be over the line. Next up. Are you there, God? It's me, Cookie. And holy it's a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, tell me if you think it's a type of Keebler cookie or a Judy Blume book for young readers. If it's a cookie, press 1. If it's a bookie, press 2. To skip, all right then, don't let me keep you. Super Fudge, Double Fudge, Fudge-a-mania, EL Fudge, Fudge Stripes, Fudge Sticks, Blubber. You fudged that one up just a bit. Although who wouldn't eat a cookie called blubber? Blubber. And coming up next... 4. No, but there is a team in I. When pluralized, which of these words does not end in I? Abacus, circus, focus, or hippopotamus? More than one circus is circuses, not circi. But hey, did you hear the one about the circus dwarf who got his penis stuck in a vacuum cleaner? Look it up. And up next, Magic, the Saddening. Nate and I wanted to play cards, but we couldn't find a regular card deck, so we're playing with Magic the Gathering cards.
I knock.
What?
I have a run of 5 goblins and a set of 4 elementals. My only dead one is the Shivan Dragon.
Damn it, I knew you had that dragon! What card game are we playing? Texas Hold'em, Blackjack, Bridge, or Gin Rummy? We're playing Gin Rummy.
Some of us better than others.
I couldn't catch a break. My hand was terrible. I had 2 Soul Feasts, a Disrupting Scepter, a Rancor, an Uno card, and a coupon for a free drink at Popeye's Chicken. And on its way, Angelina. Ah! What might Angelina Jolie scream if she accidentally tumbled into a Brad Pitt? Ah, nails! Ah, snakes! Ah, boiling oil! You just like words with the sound oil in it, don't you? And the correct answer is, Brad's are small, thin nails. But I'm sure she's pretty used to getting nailed by small, thin things, right, Brad? Oh, snap! Now coming up... Well, somebody's in a hurry. Okay, then. Initial here, sir. How do you spell that? Good luck. I got 2 letters for you. P-U.
You don't know Jack!
My name's Cookie, and I'm completely covered in Vicks Vapo Rub. Just for kicks. Now the instructions. I'm gonna read you some... Okay, let's get it on. First up, how to spell Superbad with 38 letters. If McLovin were a traditional Scottish surname, what would it most likely mean? Son of Lovin, father of Lovin, from the village of Lovin, or pledged to the... And from the county of Loser... Hey, look at this right answer over here. Mick or Mac originally meant son of in Scottish. For example, at McDonald's, my favorite item is the Son of Nuggets. And coming up next, more zeros in a Battlestar Galactica convention. If you performed a search for Google on Google and it came back with one Google results, how many Google results would you have? 10 to the 100th power Google results? 100 to the 10th power Google results? No, that would be a one with 200 zeros following it, better known in mathematics circles as a buttload. This would have been a good idea. 10 to the 100th power is equal to 1 with 100 zeros after it, or 1 Google. Of course, that's not including the first link at the top that says, "Did you mean girdle?" Next up, hold your apocalyptic horses. And whoa! It's a dis or dat. I'm going to read off 7 names. For each one, I want you to tell me if it's one of the Bible's 4 horsemen of the apocalypse or an American gladiator. And when NBC revives American Gladiators later this year, I guess we'll see both. So if it's a horseman of the apocalypse, press 1. If it's an American gladiator, press 2. To skip and come back another Judgment Day, press... Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. War, havoc, pestilence, storm, death, thunder, famine. Don't worry, we're all sinners. My favorite part of the Bible is when Jesus comes back and fights the 4 horsemen on podiums while hitting each other with giant Q-tips. And up next, 4. Let's get P-tarded. What do the Black Eyed Peas, the hip-hop group, have in common with Black Eyed Peas, the food? Both originated in California, both are not actually peas, both are considered unacceptable in the Jewish faith. Neither the Black Eyed Peas nor Black Eyed Peas are actually peas. But you can use either of them to really get a party going. And now, pummel small animals, win big prizes. So I was at a county fair over the weekend when I noticed, oh yes, a whack-a-mole game, where apparently I had the opportunity to win some very large unicorn-themed mirrors. So, of course, I went over to play, but it was weird. It wasn't whack-a-mole at all. The animals popping up were smaller than moles, like field mice. Their noses weren't as pointy, and the carny kept yelling, "Smash them rodents!" What game was it? Whack-a-sole, whack-a-bowl, whack-a-quall, or whack-a-vole? Voles are commonly called field mice or meadow mice. I was playing whack-a-vole. I also brought home a cinnamony elephant ear. Wait, this is woolly mammoth ear. Oh well. Oh, hairy. Very hairy. And on its way. Mind if I slip into something a little more comfortable? If I measured myself with a Mohs scale, what would we learn? How hard I am, how hot I am, how wet I am. The Mohs scale is used to measure hardness. And apparently on the Mohs scale, I measure a 1.7, which is, let's see, somewhere between silly putty and soup. Now coming up... Brace yourself for the attack. When you see 2 things that match, press the space... Oh, well, sure, I'll just shut my mouth then. I've got 3. I'm not telling you what I've got 3 of, but yeah, they all work. Good luck. I just banged my hand with a hammer to punish you for not doing better. Now you have to live with the guilt.
You don't know Jack!
I'm Cookie Masterson, and the baby hit me first, okay? Now the instructions. Okay, let's get it on. Erst fe estjen quae. It's a asway ide espe of a imste. It's a asway ide erstway of a imste. What the heck is that? William Shakespeare in Pig Latin? Charles Dickens in Pig Latin? Anton Chekhov? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, is the opening line from Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. And of course, my favorite movie quote in Pig Latin is from Die Hard. Yippee-ki-yay, other fucker may. And now, going apeshit with the remakes. Okay, there are two major rules in Hollywood. Number one, bigger is better. Number two, remakes are awesome. So, suppose Peter Jackson remakes King Kong again, but this time he wants the ape to look even bigger. Given which building is the shortest, which scene would make Kong look huge by comparison? Pounding his chest at the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, swatting planes from the top of the Washington Monument, dangling a woman in his hands at the top of the Eiffel Tower, or... Hey, look at this right answer over here. Of these structures, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is the shortest, and therefore King Kong would look friggin' huge on it. If only there were a way to make Peter Jackson's movies seem shorter. And on its way... No hitting below the nougats. And watch your kahooganas, it's a dis or dat. All right, check it out. I'm about to read a list of 7 names. For each one, you need to tell me if it's a brand of energy bar or a boxer in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. If it's an energy bar, press 1. If it's a boxer, press 2. To skip it and go for the knockout later, press 4. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Flip Bar, Sixto Escobar, Kid Chocolate, Chucky Wright, Honey Stinger, Zone Perfect, Houseye Galaxy. They should bite your ear off for that performance. Personally, I don't like energy bars. They're too sugary, Robinson. Next up, 4. Neil Diamond sings the blues with a little zing. Which of the following is not a blue diamond? Viagra, a famous almond company, the Hope Diamond, or a current Lucky Charms marshmallow? This would have been a good idea. Lucky Charms cereal used to have blue diamonds in it. Now they have blue moons and a bunch of other crazy shit. And from what I understand, you don't want to give a leprechaun any Viagra. Those leprechaun pants are tighter than you think. And coming up next, 5! Thinker Tinker. Imagine that Rodin's The Thinker was really sculpted by Christopher Walken. What kind? Oh, no, not now, not now. Okay, there's not much time. I took a serum last week, and now I change sometimes into a different me, an evil me. I don't know how to stop it. Quickly! Which of the following people is not cursed with a more violent personality that sometimes takes over? Henry Jekyll, Nicky Sanders, Bruce Banner, or Theodore Geisel? Theodore Geisel's alter ego is Dr. Seuss, who definitely was not evil, but certainly was a dweevil. Oh no, changing! Ah! Hey there, I'm the evil version of Cookie. Name's Cracker Masterson. I'm really not that evil, although I do have a goatee. Next question. coming up, in Phil's Rough. If golfer Phil Mickelson decided to grow hair on his philtrum, what would inconsiderate golf fans yell at him just before a crucial putt? Nice unibrow, Phil! Nice sideburn, Phil! Nice mustache, Phil! Or, nice hairy back, Phil! Your philtrum is that little indent on your upper lip, so it's right where Phil's mustache would go. Basically, you'd just be replacing his divot. And if the mustache catches random stray bits of food in it, it might also keep him from choking so much. And up next... Brace yourself. Oh, well, sure, I'll just shut my mouth then. Hey, didn't you used to be... I know you from somewhere. Oh well, good luck. When somebody shows good effort, I like to reward that effort. I'd really like to. Yep.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I feel like dancing. Now the instructions. I'm gonna read you some questions. When you think you know the answer, hit the 1, 2, 3, or 4 key on your keyboard, or you can use your mouse. Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, dude wrote like a lady. I'm going to a costume party tonight where I have to dress up as a famous writer. Don't judge me, like the parties you go to are so great. I don't want to have to cross-dress again. Which writer should I dress as if I want to go as a man? George Eliot, J.K. Rowling, Ambrose Bierce, or Dingling? Unlike those other three, Ambrose, author of The Devil's Dictionary and Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, was totally a dude. Which reminds me, Nate, cancel my Brazilian. Next up, mail service gets even dicier. Which of these zip codes would score the highest as a Yahtzee roll? Brooklyn Park, Minnesota 55444, Sequoia, New York 13456, Fayette, Alabama 35555, or Schenectady, New York 12345. Yahtzee? Nazi! Wait, sorry, that came out wrong. Hey, look at this right answer over here. Schenectady's 12345 is a large straight, beating Fayette's 4 of a kind, Brooklyn Park's Full House, and Sequoia's small straight. In your face, Sequoia. Now coming up, Never Say Neverland. And Tinker My Bell, it's a dis or dat. I'm gonna throw out 7 names. For each, I want you to tell me if it's a snack made by Nabisco or one of the Lost Boys from Peter Pan. If it's from Nabisco, press 1. If it's one of the Lost Boys, press 2, and to skip, press 4. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Nibs! Wheatsworth! Cameo! Toodles! Malomars! Sweeback! Nips! Let's go back! Nips! Nips! You'll just never grow up, will you? And all these snacks taste great with Peter Pan peanut butter. Peter Pan peanut butter. We caught all the salmonella. We really did. And now... MILF. Math, I'm likely to fail. Given the numerical value of pi, when in the American Pie movie series should a sequel named American Pie have been released? Between American Pie and American Pie 2, between American Pie 2 and American Wedding, between American Wedding and American Pie Presents Band Camp, or between American Pie Presents Band Camp and American Pie Presents The Naked Mile. Come on, do something! Wedding was number 3, Band Camp was number 4, and Pi is 3.141592653. Stop me anytime. 589. And American Pie is the ratio of an apple pie circumference to how much of it you'd actually eat if someone's had been in it. And on its way... If I didn't not do it. Not. Well, it was 13 years ago when O.J. Simpson rode in a white Ford Bronco in a slow-speed chase down a Los Angeles highway because he didn't do it. You know, because if he did do it, he would have gone much faster, like when he used to run for the Buffalo Bills in the NFL. So my point is, who is another Buffalo Bill famous for riding Broncos? William Bonney, James Butler Hickok, William F. Cody, or John... William F. Cody, better known as Old West gunfighter Buffalo Bill. The big difference between Buffalo Bill Cody and O.J. Simpson is Buffalo Bill was known for killing buffalo, while O.J. Simpson is known for starring in the Naked Gun movies. And up next, some things you need to know if you plan to sleep with me. Which of these is the best example of a hypnagogic jerk? What? Oh, I'm awake. So, shh, go back to sleep. It was just a dream. A horrible, horrible dream. Here's what you should have picked. The hypnagogic jerk is the involuntary jerking sensation that sometimes occurs just as you're falling asleep. Some people hate it, but personally I tend to fall right to sleep after a good jerk. And coming up next... Brace yourself for the attack. Oh, well, sure, I'll just shut my mouth then. I have a first name, you know, and that's not baloney. Good luck. When they make the movie about your performance, just be warned the studio will ask, can it be a little more, you know, non-loosey? My name's Cookie Masterson, and I just had 14 pint glasses of high fructose corn syrup. Here's how it works. Oh, well, don't let me stand in your way. First up, a real stretch. Say George W. Bush gets confused, and instead of going to Capitol Hill, he ends up going to Capitoline Hill. What would he most likely say? I see London, I see France. I got some pants on. New York, New York, the city's so nice, they named it New York. Houston, we have a issue. Or when in Rome, do as you would have done unto you. Capitoline Hill is one of the famous 7 hills of Rome. But don't worry, President Bush. You know how the old saying goes, all roads lead to Rome, usually not always, but most of the time. Now, coming up, eat your toys, then you can go play with your food. If you wanted to play the traditional game of Skittles using Skittles candy, how might you do it? Sling your Skittles in a set of 9 pins, flip a bunch of Skittles into a pot like Tiddlywinks, use a small stick to knock your Skittles into 6 holes. Skittles, the game, is also known as 9-pin. You would actually sling Skittles at the Skittles. I also enjoy playing cribbage with cabbage. And up next, why did the McChicken cross the road? And holy smokes, it's a dis or dat. Today we're going to answer that age-old question, which came first, the Chicken McNugget or the Egg McMuffin? I'll read off 7 McFacts, and for each one, tell me if it applies to Chicken McNuggets, Egg McMuffins, or both. If it's about Chicken McNuggets, press 1. If it's about Egg McMuffins, press 2. If it applies to both, press 3. To skip, press 4. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Came first. Comes with your choice of sauces. One serving contains 78% recommended daily allowance of cholesterol. Can be ordered in a Happy Meal. First thing eaten in the documentary Super Size Me. Has chicken in it. Let's see what you skipped. Came first. Here's your Happy Meal. Sorry, we're out of toys, so we included an apple. Yes, when you really think about it, eggs are chicken. So next time you enjoy a freshly baked cake or cookie, think to yourself, chicken. And coming up next, rock me, whatever your name is. What was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's true full name? Wolfgang Xavier Thaddeus Amadeus Mozart? Amadeo Wolfgang Darling Huxtable Mozart? Nicholas Amadeus Zoidberg? Although he shortened and changed it over time, this was the name he was first given. My birth name was Cooklin Hasselhoff. I'm a girl fart bottom Gaylord Masterson. My parents were cruel, cruel people. And on its way, 5! What goes on in that pineapple? Hey, you ever notice how SpongeBob SquarePants never seems to have a girlfriend? Well, I found out why. Sponges have the ability to reproduce asexually. With that in mind, which other character from SpongeBob SquarePants could join SpongeBob in the do-it-yourself reproduction department? Squidward the octopus, Mr. Krabs the crab, Patrick the starfish, or Sandy the squirrel? Because Patrick's a starfish, he can reproduce both sexually and asexually. This is probably why so many sea creatures are just plain shellfish. And now, the gum of all fears. This gum is losing its flavor. If I swallow this gum, how long will it take to fully digest? About 24 hours, about a week, 7 years, or it'll never digest. Yes, and if you make a face and the wind changes, it'll stick that way. This would have been a good idea. Although the gum will pass through my system in about the same time as any food, and not as old wives would tell you, 7 years, it will do so mostly undigested. Next up. Brace yourself. Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. The things they carry. You'll have to pry these out of their cold, dead hands. Good luck. You're apparently carrying a good amount of useless trivia around in your brain. That might be why you have such a fat head.
You don't know Jack!
My name's Cookie. I love the nightlife, and I love to boogie. Okay, let's start with the instructions. I'm gonna read you some questions. When you think you know the answer, hit the 1, 2, 3, or 4 key on your keyboard, or you can use your mouse. Now, every question has a timer right about here. Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, poker. I don't even know how to poke. Okay, can someone please tell me why poker is on every channel whenever I turn on my TV? World Series of Poker, World Poker Tour, Celebrity Poker, the CBS Evening News starring poker? I want to stay away from any TV show that reminds me of poker. Which TV rerun could I watch that does not contain the name of a poker variation? Miami Vice, WKRP in Cincinnati, Chicago Hope, or Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? Chicago, no! This would have been a good idea. There's no poker variation called Miami. Let me just see what else is on TV here. Full House. Oh, come on! And on its way. My eyes! My eyes! Which eye color is the most common? The one from the Van Morrison song? The one from Frank Sinatra's nickname? The one from the sing... Ah, old blue eyes. Speaking of blue, you really blew this question. Hey, look at this right answer over here. Brown-Eyed Girl is one of Morrison's most famous songs, and taking all different cultures into account, brown is the most common eye color worldwide. Someone once called my eyes brown, and I punched him right then and there. My eye color is actually chocolate sensation. And up next... I'm a Columbo Jack, and I'm okay. And just one more thing, it's a dis or dat. I'm going to throw out 7 words. For each, I need you to tell me if it's a tool you might find in your shed, a famous fictional detective, or both. If it's a tool, press 1. If it's a dick, press 2. If it's both, press 3. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Kojak, wrench, hammer, magnum, rake, Spade! Crockett! Not bad. Tied up most of the loose ends, but we never did figure out where that gun went. Ah! And call Inspector Gadget if you need a dick with his own tools. And coming up next... 4. Cheetah, cheetah, pumpkin eater. For which animal am I not giving the proper scientific name? Llama, 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 black rat, ratus, ratus, western gorilla, 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 or plains bison, 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 bison? The scientific name for the llama is actually llama glama. And the scientific name for a chameleon is karma, 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 karma. Next up, 5! I'm sorry, I don't speak weenie. I had this page of important show notes I seem to have misplaced, and it's driving me crazy. I made the mistake of asking Jarecki, the nerdy Jellyvision programmer, if he had seen it.
Hey, Cookie.
Using standard HTTP web codes, what did Jarecki, the programmer, most likely say when I told him I couldn't find the page I was looking for?
Amusing predicament, sir. Quite a 101. Tough.
502, Jarecki?
Looks like someone received an invalid response from the upstream server it accessed in attempting to fulfill the request.
And the correct answer is... You've seen it a million times. 404 error, page not found.
Get it, Cookie? Your page cannot be found? Get it? Ow! My headgear!
Now coming up... TNA, Tunes and Animation. Say Cops does a special episode in Orlando. Which Disney character is least likely to be arrested for indecent exposure? Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Winnie the Pooh, or Baloo? Mickey Mouse wears pants. The rest do not. Although he's clearly wearing gloves so he won't leave fingerprints on the scene of the crime, and he's not wearing a shirt. The criminals on that show are never wearing shirts. And now... Brace yourself for the attack. Well, somebody's in a hurry. Okay then, all movies are created sequel. Wait, what was the original movie? Good luck. Just $1 off from today's magic score. Had you actually hit the magic score, we would have sent you a fabulous array of wonderful prizes. Keep playing and try to hit that magic score. This is an automated message. No one ever really wins, but keep playing anyway, loser. Good luck.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, my name's Cookie, but you can call me Cookie. Here's how it works. I'm gonna read you some questions. When you think you know the answer, hit the 1, 2, 3, or... Oh, well, don't let me stand in your way. Ouch, ouch, damn spot of milk. Say I'm opening a coffee shop called Macbeth's. My woman keeps nagging me to make Macbeth's the king of all coffee chains. According to the play Macbeth, what coffee chain would I have to knock off to make this happen? Starbucks, Carabao Coffee, Seattle's Beast, or Dunkin' Donuts? No, but why don't you buy this Starbucks compilation CD of non-threatening light jazz to listen to while you think about how badly you've messed up? Hey, look at this right answer over here. In Shakespeare's Macbeth, Duncan is the king that Lady Macbeth prods Macbeth into killing in order to take his throne. I don't know about you, but I cannot murder anybody until after I've had my first cup of coffee in the morning. I mean, I'm useless. Oh, after I get some caffeine in me, though, I can murder quite a bit. And on its way... Don't get me shirted. Nate has started taking piano lessons, and I can hear him practicing through this supposedly soundproof glass. Nate, shut up in there before I glue your face to one of those piano pedals! Hey, that's not a bad idea. Because it quiets the notes, which of the piano's foot pedals should I glue Nate's face to? The right pedal, the left pedal, the middle pedal, or the top pedal? No, that pedal sustains the notes that Nate depresses when the pedal is depressed. Hey, and now you're depressed. This would have been a good idea. The left pedal, known as the una corda pedal, is the piano's shusher, and I will glue Nate's face to it if he doesn't shut up! Oh, hey, he's stopping, finally. Wait, what's he doing? He's picking up something different. Nate! Now coming up... Spin it and lick it. And, it's a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, tell me if you think it's a hot-selling children's game or a Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor. If it's a kid's game, press 1. If it's Ben & Jerry's, press 2. To skip, press... All right, then, don't let me keep you. Hi-ho, Cheerio! Oh my, apple pie, buried treasure, granny apples, honeybee tree, everything but the... totally gross! Hey, you went for Park Place, but you ended up with Baltic Avenue. I can't wait for Ben & Jerry's newest flavor, Hungry Hungry Hippo Pomegranate Marble Crunch. Next up, Triple X. In order, which of the following is a hairless cat, a tailless cat, and just a big cat with both hair and a tail? Sphinx, Lynx, Manx, Manx, Sphinx, Lynx, Sphinx, Manx, Lynx, or Lynx, Sphinx, Manx? Seconds. Sphinx cats have no hair, most Manx cats have no tails, and lynxes are your standard wild cats. Sorry, saying all those X's made my throat all... And now... License to be ill. Say James Bond has to defuse a bomb, but he can't distinguish between the red and the green wires. What is he suffering from? A Brosnan deficiency, Moore's disease, Daltonism, or gonorrhea? Daltonism is the most common form of color blindness. Red-green color blindness. And if he can't get both his eyes to focus in one direction, he may have Lazenby-eye. And up next, Bratney Schmears. Oh, hold on. Hello?
Oh, hi, Cookie. Is your refrigerator running?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Then you better go catch it!
Damn it! Every Every time. He gets me every time. Oh, that reminds me. If someone wanted to get revenge on prank callers the Jerky Boys by turning them into actual jerky, how should they go about doing it? Grind them to a 50-50 fat-to-meat ratio, cut them into strips, then dry them, grind them to a 50... Beef jerky is made by cutting all lean meat into strips and then drying it. Just a second. Hello?
Oh, hey, Cookie. This is, Al in, IT. We're having some problems. Is your refrigerator running?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well, then you better go catch it!
Damn it! And coming up next... Oh, you gotta be somewhere? I understand. And the hat you rode in on. Here's your hat, there's the door. Good luck. Not bad, not bad. Not great, not good, not something to be proud of, but not bad, not bad, not bad.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, my name's Cookie. I think you've got the volume too high. Turn down the Wait, no. I was yelling. Sorry. Now the instructions. Oh, instructions. You don't need no stinking instructions. Roll it. First up, this candy tastes like acid. You know, some guy in the car next to me yesterday honked and yelled, "Eat my DNA!" I don't know what he meant, but it sounded like a nice offer. Anyway, it got me thinking. Based on its shape, which candy looks most like a typical DNA molecular structure? Candy corn, Lifesavers, Tootsie Rolls, or Twizzlers? DNA molecules bond together to form the double helix shape, like a licoricey Twizzler. Another similarity, both DNA and Twizzlers contain a bunch of chemicals you can't pronounce. Next up, the drinks and the signals were mixed. You know how it is, you're a sailor, you're new in town, and you want to tell everybody a little something about yourself. If you go down to the pier and start waving your blue Peter around, what are you telling everyone? You're ready to sail, you're going down, you're on fire down there, or you've experienced some rough action. A blue Peter is a blue and white flag hoisted as a ship's about to set sail. But it droops back down about 2 minutes after launch. And now, stop staring at my spice rack. And yes, it's a this or dat. I'm going to throw out 7 ingredients. For each one, I want you to tell me if it's an herb or a spice. If it's an herb, press 1. If it's a spice, press 2. And to skip and season it later, press 4. Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Cinnamon, thyme, mint, nutmeg, rosemary, ginger, oregano. Not bad. I think it needs just another pinch of answering correctly. I can't figure out what seasoning is in this unlabeled jar. Yeah, that's dirt. Now coming up, 4. My lovely wombat lumps. Who is Fatso, the fat-arsed wombat? Your mom, the International Confederation of Dietetic Association spokes-character, a wildly popular Olympic mascot, or the current Australian president? It's a nickname. I'm gonna tell him you said that. Here's what you should have picked. At the 2000 Sydney Olympics, the official mascots, Ollie, Sid, and Millie, were totally upstaged by Fatso. Sports Illustrated called him, quote, the real darling of the games, and he now appears in statue form at the Sydney Olympic Memorial. Which just proves that even if you have a fat ass, you can accomplish anything. A good lesson for 8 out of 10 Americans. And on its way, 5! Jamaican-do attitude. How would Bob Marley describe the philosophical concept known as monism? Hey man, we're all one big man. Every man in the world is unique from every other man. Everyone in the world is either one man or this other man. Or, there are 7 mans in the world, man. Monism is the belief that, like the song, One Life, One Love, basically everything is one thing. And if we're all the same person, then clearly I didn't steal that car. It was already my car, if you think about it. And coming up next, fart boobies poop nards. Okay, alright, you know what? Enough of the crude humor. Time to class things up a little bit around here. Only sophisticated monocle wearers allowed from now on. Who doesn't wear a monocle? Uncle Pennybags from Monopoly? He was a pretty fancy fellow, so it's easy to mistakenly remember him as wearing a monocle, but if you go back to the game and look, he doesn't. Fart boobies, poop nards. And up next... Oh, well, sure, I'll just shut my mouth then. As easy as a pie. You look as smart as a tack. May you be as lucky as a duck. Not a bad job. You should hold your head high for that performance. But then drop it back down, you know, because you've got to go back to your everyday life. Hi, welcome to the game. I'm your host, Cookie, and you're a random internet person. Here are the rules. I'm gonna... Oh, instructions! You don't need no stinking instructions! Roll it! First up, Gandalfin the Grey. So, you know how all the incredibly long Lord of the Rings movies were shot in New Zealand? Well, considering which animal outnumbers humans 12-1 in New Zealand, which sequel would be easiest to cast? The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Cowers, Return of the King Cobra, or The Hogbit? Are you nuts? No one would make that movie. That would be terrifying. Hey, look at this right answer over here. New Zealand has far more sheep than people. So it'd also be a sweet place to shoot a sequel to Silence of the Lambs. And up next... Gee whiz. Hey, you ever notice that...
Hey, how you doing? I'm Reggie, the Jellyvision Ombudsman. Yeah, I was told you wanted to talk to me.
Oh, yeah, Reggie. You're the Ombudsman man. Right. Hold on. This Reggie guy says he's an ombudsman. I have no idea what that is. Quick, what should I tell him? Oh, you must be here to ghostwrite my autobiography. You must be here about that complaint I have against my boss.
Exactly. I investigate and resolve problems and complaints between employees and their bosses.
Of course you do. I knew that because you're an butler.
Ombudsman.
Right, that. Next up, you got a bad case of the donuts. And yep, it's a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 things, and for each one, tell me if you think it's a type of doughy dessert or a painful and or disfiguring medical affliction. If it's a doughy dessert, press 1. If it's a medical affliction, press 2. To skip, press 4. All right then, don't let me keep you. Bear claw, beaver tail, clubfoot, cauliflower ear, ladyfinger, nursemaid's elbow, elephant ear. Oh well, better luck next time. Back when I worked for the traveling carnival, I used to eat way too many elephant ears, which eventually led to my elephant rear. And now... 4. Come on, I want to travel. Considering the name that the Hawaiian Islands were given by Captain James Cook in 1788, what would be an appropriate way to surf Hawaii's beaches? Inside a giant chocolate egg, on the back of a giant turtle, between 2 slices of bread, or with a small Mexican dog on each foot? After arriving in the Hawaiian Islands, Captain James Cook named them the Sandwich Islands. Which proves once again that you shouldn't make important decisions when you're hungry. Just ask Captain Cook's sons, hot dog and soup. And coming up next, dropping the kids off at Alicia Silverstone's pool. So, I was checking out the PETA website the other day. No, don't worry, I'm not a vegan. I just like seeing naked celebrities talk about being vegans. And I learned that U.S. chickens, turkeys, pigs, and cows produce 89,000 pounds of excrement every second. Holy crap! PETA claims that farm animals produce 89,000 pounds of poop in 1 second. How much poop would they produce in 1 PETA second? 0.00089 pounds of poop? 89 pounds... Here's what you should have picked. 1 PETA second is equal to 32 million years, which is equal to 89 sextillion pounds of poop, which is better known as a shitload. And somehow PETA is gonna find a way to make Alicia Silverstone swimming in a pool full of animal crap sexy as hell. And on its way... Feckless? What the feck? I've been thinking, I need a credo. You know, something that encapsulates my beliefs in a catchy t-shirt-worthy phrase. I'm having a hard time picking the right one, though. Since it's the only phrase in which all its words actually exist, which of these credos should I adopt? Never appear disheveled, always be sheveled. I am not inept, I'm ept. Don't be incorrigible, be corrigible. Or, I'm not inane, I'm ane. Corrigible is actually a real word. It means capable of being reformed. And I can be reformed. Heck, I used to be apathetic, but now I'm totally pathetic. Now coming up... Oh, well, sure, I'll just shut my mouth then. Where'd my penis go? Hopefully you can help me find it, please. Well, you don't know dick.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I have a pumpkin pie in my pants. Okay, let's start with the instructions. Oh, well, don't let me stand in your way. First up, funny ha-ha or funny ouch-ouch? What joke could Phineas Gage have made right after his famous horrendous accident? What a pain in the butt. Talk about twisting my arm. I needed that like I needed a hole in the head. Or nuts. About 160 years ago, Phineas Gage was working on the railroad when an explosion sent a 3-foot metal rod through his cheek and out the top of his head. He survived. Of course, he couldn't think of a joke off the top of his head because he didn't have a top of his head. And up next, Night of the Living Dead. And speaking of head trauma, you know how zombies pretty much have a one-food diet? That being brains? Well, say a zombie goes out to dinner at a fancy French restaurant. What should he order? Les cerveaux, les langues, les poissons, la moutarde. I ordered French takeout for our You Don't Know Jack zombie. Here are your brains, zombie.
Ah, cerveau.
Although it's a shame, that heavy French sauce is just gonna slow the zombie down even more. And now, sawing a lady in half, the hard way. And ooh, it's a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 things, and for each one, tell me if you think it's a classic magic trick or a classic torture device. If it's a magic trick, press 1. If it's a torture device, press 2. To skip, press... Alright then, don't let me keep you. Chinese sticks. Austin box. Heretic's fork. Mouth coil. Pair of anguish. Judas chair. Chop cup. You played that one just like Harry Houdin, no. Of course, the one torture device I didn't mention is being forced to watch magic. And on its way...
4.
The Zodiac Killer is such a Pisces. If the Zodiac Killer only killed creatures that are represented in the Western Zodiac, what's safe? Horses, crabs, virgins, or sea goats? Horses do not appear in the Zodiac. But crabs, virgins, and sea goats do, further proving the merits of astrology. Now coming up... Are you not entertained? You know my biggest complaint about the Russell Crowe movie Gladiator? Not gory enough. Oh, sure, people get mauled by lions and have their heads cut off. And sure, there are geysers of blood shooting all over the place. But somehow, I just feel like there should be more. What would happen if General Maximus lost his minimus in the gladiatorial arena? His chariot horse would be trampled, a bone in his ear would be crushed, he would lose the right to vote, or his little toe would be cut off. What? Here's what you should have picked. The minimus is the name for Russell Crowe's little toe or little finger. Okay, yours too. What? You want a minimus penis joke? Well, you're not going to get it here. No way, sir. I am sorry. Okay, who did that? Nate! Next up. A special kind of caring.
Hey, Cookie. I've thrown to my car for a second. You'll be okay by yourself for a minute?
Oh, sure, Nate. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Uh-huh. See ya. You son of a bitch. Okay, he's gone. I don't have a lot of time. Hypothetically, say I wanted to poison someone. What common plant could I use? Dandelion, petunia, forget-me-not, or mistletoe? Mistletoe berries are extremely poisonous.
I'm back.
Oh, hey, buddy. Welcome back. Here, I made you a, mistletoe sandwich.
Actually, I already ate some chicken fingers, so no thanks.
Okay. Damn you. You've won this round, Nate, but this is far from over. And coming up next... Brace yourself for the attack. When you see two things... Oh, of course, you don't need to hear all this talking. You're not really a monster. Welcome to the monsters at the end of this game. Good luck. Hey, this is just a reminder to watch out for razor blades in your candy. It's stupid people like you that the killers are counting on. Hi, welcome to the game. My name's Cookie, and yes, you may have my autograph and a sample jar of my saliva. I made a new batch today. Now the instructions. Okay, let's get it on. First up, Orange, you glad I didn't ask about bananas? Woo! I just heard a good one. Okay, listen. Why did the chicken cross the Silk Road? To get to the other side of China? To get to the other side? The Silk Road was a major trading route that went from China to Europe at least as early as the 1st century. And on its way. If I've axed you once, I've axed you 1,000 times. If freakish mythological giant Paul Bunyan suffered from a bad case of bunions, what would be the best thing for him to do with his giant axe? Cut off his heels? Chop off his big toes? Bunions are painful bone and joint deformities at the base of the big toe, so Paul could end his pain by chopping those toes off. Now, I'm not sure what he'd have to chop off to cure that bad case of syphilis he got from the Statue of Liberty. Next up, doinks and boinks, and yoinks. It's a this or that. I'm gonna read off 7 titles, and for each one, tell me if you think it's the title of a Three Stooges short, or the title of an adult film by porn megastarlet Jenna Jameson. If it's a Stooges short film, press 1. If it's a Jenna porn film, press 2. To skip, press 4. All right, then, don't let me keep you. Up in Daisy's penthouse. Wham Bam Slam. Fifi blows her top. Boobs and arms. Utterly ridiculous. Oily to bed, oily to rise. Oui, oui, monsieur. Why, I oughta... You know, there's not much difference between a Three Stooges film and a Jenna Jameson film. They're both just a collection of slaps, pokes, and yanks. And now... My, your delicates are quite ruddy. If the makers of Tide create a new laundry detergent called Red Tide, what will you notice when you pull your clothes from the washing machine? Your underpants will have become communists? Your jeans will be covered in algae? Communists, no. Although I'm sure you've had the Trotskys in them enough times that it might look that way. This would have been a good idea. Red tide is a name for the reddish-brown algae that can take over coastal ocean regions, killing and contaminating the sea life. You know, I've tried scrubbing, I've tried soaking, and still, krill around the collar. And up next, a chemically peeled peel. Old Mr. Potato Head is looking worn down. Give him the most common cosmetic procedure performed in the U.S. and he'll look a whole lot better, okay? Sure, I'll inject him with Botox. All right, I'll just shave a little bit off his huge nose. Okay, I'll implant some breasts in him. Or, fine, I'll transplant some of my hair onto his head. Why? Just so he can cover it up with that ridiculous hat? Hey, look at this right answer over here. Botox injection is by far the most common cosmetic procedure performed in the U.S. Then followed up with a vacuum cleaner liposuction and make yourself some nice tater tots. Now coming up, with this ringtone, I thee wed. I'm tired of trying to make money as a game show host. Selling ringtones. That's where the money is. Here's the first one I'm selling. Answer your phone! Hey! Hey! Answer your phone! Answer your phone! Hey! Hey! Answer your phone! 2 people have bought my ringtone so far. What happens if I sell 999,998 more? It goes gold, it goes platinum, it goes multi-platinum, or it goes diamond. Just like with records, tapes, and CDs, if I can sell 1 million copies of my ringtone, it'll go platinum. Answer your phone! Hey! Hey! Answer your phone! Nate, answer answer that. Don't let it just ring.
I think that's your phone.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe they made me pay to get my own ringtone. And coming up next... Oh, of course. You don't need to hear all this talking. Hey, who lives here? I want to make sure I don't walk in the wrong house. Good luck. Well, I've seen worse. And again, I used to work in a morgue.
You don't know Jack!
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I'm this close to completing my home course in refrigerator repair. Now the instructions. I'm gonna read you... Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, shark! I just watched Jaws again last night, and I gotta tell you, I'm terrified of water now. I don't want sharks to get me. Sharks are gonna get me! I gotta keep away from these freaking sharks! I need to find the point on the planet that is farthest away from any ocean. In which country will I find that point? Canada, South Africa, China, or Iraq? Yes, I'll be safe in Iraq. This would have been a good idea. The Eurasian Pole of Inaccessibility, the farthest point from any coastline in the world, is located in China. I guess I could get even further away from sharks by going into space, but I also watched Leprechaun 4 last night, and I'm also terrified of running into leprechauns in space now. And now, this is a trick question. Okay, this one is a trick question. Or is it? No, really, it is a trick question. Or is it so not a trick question that it seems like a trick question and really it's not? Okay, no, really, trust me. What is the most common street name in the United States? 1st Street, 2nd Street, 3rd Street, or 4th Street? What about this is a trick question, don't you understand? And the correct answer is... I told you it was a trick question. 2nd Street is the most common because a lot of first streets are renamed to honor famous people like me. And on its way... H-ole-hole. A holy hole, it's a dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, tell me if it's the first name of a golfer who's won the prestigious Masters tournament, or a character from Sesame Street. If it's a Masters golf champion, press 1. If it's a Sesame Street character, Press 2. To skip? Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Telly! Guy! Gay! Fuzzy! Tiger! Horton! Barkley! Today's Dis or Dat has been brought to you by the letters P and U. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And coming up next, 4. And a floss for words. If 4 out of 5 dentists recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum, how many dentists would not recommend sugarless gum at a dental convention attended by 400 dentists? 4, 80, 320, or 500? Four out of 5 is 80%, and 80% of 400 is 320, leaving 80 dentists who think grape bubble yum is a much better oral hygiene solution. In a related story, 4 out of 5 plumbers recommend very low fiber diets for their clients. Now coming up, 5! Flashing body parts. I think my favorite superhero might be the Flash. He's just so fast. I mean, he's super awesome fast. Because its muscles are the fastest in the human body, which part of the Flash is the most crazy super awesome fast? The Flash's fingers, the Flash's legs, the Flash's eyelids, or the Flash's penis? The muscles controlling the eyelids are the fastest in the body. So if the Flash tries to give you butterfly kisses, don't let him, because it could rip your head off. And up next, I meant to view that. Okay, imagine this conversation between Pee Wee Herman and a famous 20th century artist. Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer. Because I'm not a photographer. I know I'm not, but what are you? Who could be having this conversation with Pee Wee? Annie Leibovitz, Ani Albers, Ansel Adams, or Ann Geddes? AA. 2 letters you should look into. Here's what you should have picked. Annie Leibovitz, Ansel Adams, and Ann Geddes are 3 of the most famous photographers in recent history. Ani Albers was a famous textile artist of the 1900s. Although, from what I understand, Pee Wee prefers moving pictures you can watch, perhaps in a theater. Next up. Well, somebody's in a hurry. Okay then, I bet you think this song is about you, don't you? Don't you? Good luck. You failed the census survey, didn't you?
You don't know Jack!
welcome to the game. My name's Cookie, and I heart you. Now the instructions. I'm gonna read you... Okay, you already got it. Let's go. Starting us off, an Iron Maiden has descended across the continent. Have you heard that Wilco album, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot? The title uses the NATO phonetic alphabet for the letters YHF, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. So let me ask you this. How is the band Wilco spelled in the NATO phonetic alphabet? Whiskey, India, Lima, Charlie, Oscar? Wilma, Irving, Lester, Cat... W-I-L-C-O. Roger that. But then again, sometimes you're more in the mood for some Romeo Echo Oscar Speedwagon. And on its way... Shoot first, shoot some more later. I love video games, but the stories are always terrible. Even Halo kinda doesn't make any sense. Why is everyone in love with that little hologram woman? It's weird. But I have an idea to make video games better. I'm gonna start making video game versions of great works of literature. What kind of video game would Tolstoy's War and Peace be? A first-person shooter, a second-person shooter, a third-person limited... War and Peace is written in the third person with an omniscient narrator that can see everything that goes on in the story. Of course, there will be no peace in my version of the game, only war, and a hot little hologram woman. And now, it's an edible toilet bowl cleaner that's also a clock radio, and it's a this or that. I'm gonna list off 7 items. For each one, I want you to tell me if it's a fake item from a Saturday Night Live commercial parody or an actual infomercial item you can really buy. If it's SNL, press 1. If it's a real product, press 2. To skip it, press... Oh, you already know how it works. Let's go. Bathroom butler. Popcorn garden. Nads hair removing gel. Cologne for dogs. Happy Fun Ball. Quick Nutcracker. Colon Blow cereal. You're about as useless as a pocket juicer. I have to admit that I have bought a few products from TV commercials. Don't mind the vacuum noise, I'm just cutting my own hair. And coming up next... Some other animal's junk is in my trunk. Because it does not include the name of a real-life animal hybrid, which of these hybrid vehicles would never get out of the concept stage? Kia Koalaroo, Suzuki Z-Donk, Lexus Liger, or Buick Beefalo? No, Z-Donks are actual hybrids of zebras and donkeys. Your striped ass should have known that. Hey, look at this right answer over here. There is no real-life hybrid of a koala and a kangaroo. But if there were, it would be fucking adorable. Now coming up, no jewel touching allowed. Anybody who knows me knows that my biggest hobby is birthstones. You know, the 12 birthstones? Well, unfortunately for me, this year's birthstones convention was held at the same hotel as the National Strippers Convention. Man, oh man, I just kept getting confused and entering the wrong ballroom. Which announcement should have tipped me off that I was at the Strippers Convention, not the Birthstones Convention? Put your hands together for the beautiful Sapphire! Get those dollar bills ready for Diamond! And now the sultry Ruby! No, the Ruby is the birthstone for July. And if you were born in July, that makes you doubly stupid. This would have been a good idea. Jade is the only one here that is not, in addition to being a stripper's name, a birthstone. Yeah, I accidentally went in that door and boy was I surprised. But 4 hours later, I was able to make it over to the Birthstones convention next door. And up next... Flickr? I hardly know her. Hey Nate, have you checked out my Flickr page yet?
Yeah, but it's all just pictures of you.
Yeah, hundreds of them. Pretty awesome, huh?
How do you find the time to take that many pictures of yourself?
I make time. I make time for the work of art that is my face. Which painter would have the most self-portraits to put up on Flickr? Leonardo da Vinci, Rembrandt, Vincent van Gogh, or Jackson Pollock? No, he was too busy leaving clues for Tom Hanks. Here's what you should have picked. The count varies depending on who you ask, but the upper number has Rembrandt painting around 90 self-portraits, not including his drawings and etchings, putting him ahead of even Van Gogh. And with all those self-portraits, he needed to be concerned about his looks, so he also invented the Rembrandt teeth whitening system. He invented that, right? Let's just say he did. Next up. Oh, of course, you don't need to hear all this talking. In simpler terms, you're nasty. Call it what you will, you might want to have that looked at. Good luck. Next time, instead of buzzing in with your finger, smash your keyboard with a live halibut. That should improve your score.
You don't know Jack!
Welcome to the game, I'm Cookie, and I just decorated my house with 32,000 blinking lights. The other half don't blink. Okay, let's start with the instructions. I'm gonna read you some... Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, Pat Sajakistan. Say you're on Wheel of Fortune and the category is country. You really want to get the first letter of the country to help you solve it quickly. What should you say? Is there an S? An M, please? I'll take a P, or I'd like to buy an A. Switzerland, Serbia, Sweden, Saudi Arabia, more countries in the world start with the letter S than any other letter. Another example would be Spain, where I will someday take Ms. Vanna White away and show her how to tango in the nude with the bulls. Olé, Vanna, olé! And now, America's Host Wanted. Which late-night host is known to have a diastema? Jay Leno, David Letterman, Conan O'Brien, or Jimmy Kimmel? Not bad. Well, thanks for coming by and playing. Hey, you want some Doritos? This would have been a good idea. A diastema is a wide gap between teeth. Not many people know that I have a corrective device for my own diastema. If I take it out, it makes it so much harder to understand what I'm saying. And on its way, Condensed Milk Cow Blues. And moo, yeah, it's a this or that. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, tell me if you think it's the name of a blues musician or the name of a canned meat product. If it's a blues musician, press 1. If it's canned meat, press 2. To skip, press 4. Get one right? All right, then don't let me keep you. Doxy Clams, Bumblebee Slim, Smoky Hog, Reese Oyster, Hormel Hash, Scrapper Blackwell, and Timor Stew. For that performance, I present to you a can of Vienno sausages. And we all know about blues guitarist Robert Johnson, who sold his soul to the deviled ham by Underwood. And up next, Chuck in Charge. What's an equally correct way of saying how much wood can a woodchuck chuck? How much wood can a groundhog hog? How much wood can a prairie dog dig? How much wood can a capybara borrow? Or how much wood can a gopher go for? Sometimes you go for it, and you end up with a mouthful of nuts. Here's what you should have picked. Woodchucks and groundhogs, different names, same animal. They're kind of like the Puff Daddy P. Diddy of the rodent world. And coming up next, 5! I can't tell men from women. Which gender am I describing with each of the following? Have a Y chromosome, less likely to be colorblind, far more likely to be struck by lightning. Women, men, women, men, women, men, men, women, women, or men, men, men. Men have a Y chromosome, women are less likely to be colorblind, and 85% of the people struck by lightning are men. I wonder why so many more men get struck by lightning. I guess we'll never know. Anyway, I'm off to go play golf in the rain. Next up, planning my weekend. I have a question for you, and I need you to be cool about it. Where can I find a hooker? A volleyball match, a rugby match, a soccer match, or a lacrosse match? You don't even know what lacrosse is, do you? And the correct answer is... right, a hooker is one of the key positions in rugby, along with scrum and lineout. Now, which sport is it with the transsexual prostitutes? Now, coming up... brace yourself for the attack. Oh, of course, you don't need to hear all this talking. Who'll play me in the movie? I'm hoping for Louis Gossett Jr. Good luck. I'm not sure how anyone could do this badly. Did you know what game you were playing? Did you think this was, Bejeweled or something? Cookie, and my interests include plain crackers, carpet, and light lifting. Now let's get to the rules. I'm gonna read... Okay, you already got it. Let's go. First up, you don't know Jack Sparrow. Say Disney wants to make another Pirates of the Caribbean movie, this time with Jack Sparrow trapped on a difficult ski slope in North America. What subtitle would make the most sense? The Curse of the Black Pearl? The Curse of the Black... In North America, a black diamond designates a particularly difficult ski slope. And it's even more difficult to ski if you've got a peg leg. Next up, what would Slim Goodbody do? If instead of NutraSweet you put some NutriaSweet in your beverage, what would it taste like? A wild grass, a single-celled underwater organism, peanut butter, or a hairy rodent? And what exactly does that taste like? I'm curious. Hey, look at this right answer over here. A nutria is a hairy semi-aquatic rodent, kind of like a beaver. That's a tasty beverage. And up next, get out of my gumbo, get into my car, and get into this dis or dat. I'm gonna read off 7 names. For each one, tell me if it's a fancy sports car or an example of New Orleans Cajun cuisine. If it's a sports car, press 1. If it's Cajun cuisine, press 2. To skip? All right, then don't let me keep you. Barchetta, Muffaletta, Beignet, Bugatti, Cochon de lait, Lamborghini, Sazerac. Well, you had an essence of Emerald, but not quite the full BAM. Whenever I'm driving around in New Orleans, I always have this strange urge to flash everyone my headlights. And coming up next... 4. Buy, sell, bunt. I've come into a little money recently. My grandpa still sends me $50 every Arbor Day, and I'm going to be responsible and invest it. Placing bets on sporting events qualifies as investing, right? Considering the terms used for financial market trends, which Chicago sports team should I invest in if I want to catch prices on the rise? The Chicago Bears? A bull market is one where prices are on the rise, so you'd want to invest in the bulls. But whatever you do, don't place a bet on the Cubs. That's just throwing your money away. And on its way, 5! Installing a Muppet regime. Now, imagine, if you will, that fed up with their working conditions, the Muppets rise up and take over the Jim Henson Company. If a Muppet uprising mirrored the events of George Orwell's Animal Farm, which character would be most likely to oppress other Muppets? Animal, Miss Piggy. In Animal Farm, it's the pigs who become dictatorial. That book has stuck with me over the years. Now, when I watch politicians on the news, all I hear is... And now... No, I said pianist. As some of you may know, our intern Nate's been taking piano lessons, and even though he sucks, I thought I'd better still try to stay ahead of him. So I brought my old Casio in here, and I've been brushing up on some classical pieces. For instance... Yes, that's it. Yes! Okay, so the question.
I'll take it from here, Cookie. Who would be turning over in his grave right now if he weren't dead?
Nate, I'm gonna kill you this time. Really, I'm gonna do it and bury you in the same hole as my cat. What Nate really means is, which composer would totally love my rendition of his famous tune if he were alive and not deaf? Bach, Mozart, Chopin, or Beethoven? That song is Für Elise, and Beethoven would totally love to hear my interpretation of it if he were not deaf and also not dead. Nate, roll the next question. Nate! Nate!
What? Oh, sorry. I had my giant earplugs in.
Where's my gun? Where? Nate, get me my gun!
No.
Now coming up. Oh, of course. You don't need to hear all this talking. I'm your father. And you didn't even get me a card. Good luck, I guess. Oh, I'm not clapping for your score. I'm just turning the lights on and off in the sound booth. Oh, the clapper.